Hello, everybody, and welcome to our newest webinar session with Wirt Austria today about the topic of how Wirt Austria gamifies their omnichannel marketing and enhances the in-store experience across their stores. We're very excited to talk about this stunning topic today with our guests from Word. First, I would like to have a quick introduction round into who will be here and will be talking with us today. Unfortunately, we got the news from Georg today in the morning, the head of marketing at Word Austria, that he is sick at the moment and unfortunately cannot join. But we have Marcus here, who is our main contact person at Word and realized all the projects together with Brame across this year. We have worked together. So welcome, Marcus. Very nice to have you here today.
Hello.
But let's start with a very quick introduction round, I would say. My name is Nicola. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer and co-founder of Brame. I'm kind of the connection between sales, account management, and marketing, and had the pleasure to work over those years together with our biggest clients and to achieve their goals with gamification. And one of them is Word, and very excited to talk today a bit more about the topic of omni-channel and in-store experience.
Yes, and my name is Mike, and I lead the success and account management team at Brame. We are very close to our customers like Word and support them in any technical queries while using our software, and also in the strategic development of ideas and campaigns according to their marketing plans. So thanks to Word as our customer that you share your insights with us today in this webinar.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Markus. I've been working at Word since 2014, and I'm responsible for shop marketing for our 70 shops at Word Austria. The typical areas that I support every day in marketing are the point of sale, the monthly offers, the campaigns, the shop layout, and the exterior of our shops. And especially a new part also, the gamification in our shop.
Thank you very much, Marcus. By the way, I also love your background, ready for work. So I hope you're also ready for this webinar today. And also very welcome again to our audience. In the beginning, before we go through the agenda, I would just like to tell you that you're allowed to write in questions all the time into the chat. That would be great if you do that over the whole webinar, which will probably take around 30 minutes. And by the end of the webinar, we will answer all the open questions together with Marcus. So yeah, looking forward to a lively discussion. To come to the agenda today, first, we quickly would like to introduce you Word as a company and their current marketing strategy, which they are following. Then we're going a bit deeper into the topic of omni-channel and multi-channel marketing. Word Austria at the moment really follows that approach of selling through different channels and wants to connect them more and more in the future, where gamification is one important piece of it. Therefore, we would like to go on with why Word uses gamification to connect those channels and what value does gamification bring to Word. So far, we have mostly worked with Word Austria in the in-store experience sector. So we rolled out screens across 70 stores in the whole country. And we would also like to tell you today a bit more what role gamification played within that. And then as well, when we look at other channels, it goes a bit into a deeper outlook on where else it can be used in the future, and as well how Word and Marcus used our software to create gamification campaigns in a fast and efficient way. So maybe let's start with a quick introduction about the company Wirth. Marcus, what can you tell us about the background of the company, about the target group which you are aiming for, and also about the current marketing strategy which you follow?
Yeah, okay. The Wirth Group is a globally operating trading group for assembly and fastening materials with over 400 companies in more than 80 countries. And it is one of the largest providers in the industry. But today we are talking about Wirth Austria. Wirth Austria is a B2B wholesaler and specialist in trading assembly and fastening materials for the professional use. The product range includes over 120,000 items. It begins from screws, screw accessories, and dovels to tools, chemical, technical products, and the occupational safety products. Customers include craft and industrial companies, which are looked after by around 500 sales reps and 70 shops, accompanied by digital sales channels like our online shop, the app, or also the direct electronic data interchange. Wirth is a pure P2P provider. We generate almost 100% of our sales in direct sales, whereby B2B is not current for us. We sell to people and not to companies. The challenge is in reaching the different people in the purchasing process, starting by the user, the person who collects the goods in the workshops, through the workshop manager to the manager director.
Interesting.
Thank you so much for those insights. When it comes to marketing strategy, we have heard it that you kind of want to steer the multi-channel marketing into an omni-channel approach. So if we have a look at the next slide, we would like to go a bit deeper into the different sales and marketing channels that Wirth is following. We see here on the left side the revenue distribution, where we see that the sales force is making more than a half of the revenue. So the direct personal interaction of the sales force still makes a big impact. And then obviously the workshops where people can go and feel within the stores, and the e-business itself, which is obviously growing part across different industries. So Marcus, can you may tell us a bit more about this distribution of sales, and also a bit about what's unique within those single channels?
Yes, for sure. So we come as the sales channels. So we come from the direct sales and have developed a multi-channels company over the past 20 years. And like many companies, we are on the way to becoming an omni-channel company. This is also reflected in the sales distribution of the channels, which step by step make a balanced contribution to sales development. So at the moment we have these market shares for the three areas, and in future these three areas should be similar, the same. I will start with the shops. Yeah, as you know, as a shoe shop is special for many women in our world, our Wirth shops are special for many craftsmen, and certainly only for craft women. Our customer like to come in, touch and feel our products, especially our machines, our hand tools, safety clothing, or safety shoes. In the shops, we have a bonus card as an offline loyalty program too. And then if you want, you can order some goods, and you can then that can be put up in a storage box outside the shop, and you can pick it up outside the opening times when it's not possible to come in the shop timely before the shop is closing. So that's a point for the shop. Then the e-business in our online shop, so you will find temporarily special offers and promotions, and you have the unlimited access to all our products. I forgot before in the shops. Yeah, in our shops we have about 5,000 products, but you can also order every of our 120,000 products, but you will get it then in the next days. Back to the e-business, yeah, you have the unlimited access for our products, and surely the shop is available 24/7. To the Salesforce, the Salesforce is our oldest channel in our Wirt industry history, and actually the largest share in sales. The sales reps are the main and first contact person for our customer, and they are responsible for a long-standing, trusting relationship to them. This channel is especially for consulting intensive products and services. And so we are trying to go into omnichannel, so the customer should have the choice where he wants to buy the products or the desired services.
How is it at the moment, your typical client? Do they always have their fixed preferred channels, or do you see a trend that somebody sometimes buys in a shop, sometimes in the e-business, or do you have data and insights about that?
Yes, we have a lot of people. They are only buying in the shop. They prefer the look and feel, but we also have people they only prefer the online shop. I think it's mixed, but the trend is going to that each area of these three is going up about to 30% march.
Okay, great. To kind of balance it out.
The sales force is getting a little bit lower from year to year, but the sales force is really responsible for the high consulting intensive products and services.
Okay, that's great. So sometimes people also start with buying something in e-business or Wirt or in the shops directly, and the more complex products they buy, probably also the sales force will be included, if I understand right.
Yes.
Okay, great. Last topic to finish up on this slide. How important is the topic of data for you across those different channels?
The data is much important because it's we have to know where are our customers and what they want.
Great. So also kind of generating data already in the shops and then nurture them across channels. So that's really interesting and insightful. Thank you for that. If we go on to the next slide, we can just see again an explanation of what is multi-channel and what is omni-channel marketing. I mean, obviously, most of you know that multi-channel marketing, as their name is saying it, is basically a strategy where a company sells their products and services over different channels, but more in a separated way from each other. And omni-channel marketing means, by the end of the day, really how can we connect those different communication and sales channels to make the whole customer experience even more seamless, and to also kind of maximize the reach and the revenue. And therefore we see a huge trend of the whole retail industry where it goes in that direction. If we have a look at your current current strategy, you told me before, I think, that you already have some activities in place which kind of connect those channels. I think click and collect is something which is already active for your stores. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So click and collect is connecting between the stores and the online shop.
Great.
So you can buy goods via the Wirt app or via the online shop, and then collect them in one of our 70 shops.
Okay, that's interesting. And with the warehouse depot, obviously, as well, after the working hours, are there any other activities where you connect different channels with each other? For example, do you make people aware when they have purchased something that they can also buy your products on different channels, or how do you follow that approach at the moment?
Yeah, we also have our digital display, the display where we can play our games in our shops, and this is also connected to the online world with social media and also access to the web shop.
Great. So you mentioned the word screens and displays. So let's have a look about that. How you're using the screens and also how you use gamification on those. But then I would hand over the word to you, Mike, as you were the main account manager for those word campaigns.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, Nicola. Yes, Marcus, as you mentioned before, the screens is one let's say one central aspect of your omni-channel approach, or the way to the omni-channel approach when it comes to connection. And the question here, of course, is we are very curious to know how Word came to gamification. And we will also show some examples in a moment. But first, we would like to ask you, why does Word use gamification? What gamification brings for Word?
Yes, through gamification, we want to bring complex topics closer to our customers, and that in a playful way. And so we will lead them to our digital services and the solutions in our shops.
Great. And what
That's the why.
So why does gamification work for you? What do you think so far? What you experienced so far with gamification?
Yeah, I think gaming is similar to our customers, as most of them are ambitious by nature, goal-oriented and driven by reward and success. So the motivation will be enhanced by the additional to the social interaction, and I think it's a good way.
Absolutely, yeah. We have proved that a lot of times, but the question to you is also, why do you see gamification as the right, let's say, method towards omni-channel marketing? What do you think?
Okay, yeah, we want to connect the offline with the online world, and the gamification gives the people a positive feeling before they are leaving the shop. And for sure, if I have found out that the gamification is an increase of footfall. And so more people are staying in the shops and more people are coming inside the shops due to gamification.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the connection that we also see in other companies. That this gamified, playful way helps a lot to open the doors to several channels. Somebody wants to join the meeting. Just a second. And yeah, so the next question is, so as part of your new omni-channel approach, you had the idea, and we come to a first case, to develop your in-store experience. So this is one of your main pillars, as we saw before in the charts before. So the store, the value of the stores is quite high. And just tell us more about your challenges, how you approached it, and how you use gamification and how gamification helped you with that. We prepared also this here to show our listeners a little bit more how you try to leverage that.
Okay, so it was about 2 years ago. We tried to find a solution to connect the offline world of the shops with the online world with our online shop. And so we decided to install 5 digital displays in 5 different shops, also 5 different shop sizes. And the screen of these digital displays are included information like the monthly offers, social media, video walls, the advantages of Word services, and also the access to the online shop. but we had at this to the start we had one problem. The first problem was COVID-19. The people were a little bit afraid to touch anything in the shop, especially also the display. And the second part was it was not as easy to onboard our clients to the displays, and also our employees.
So you mean, yeah, of course, there was a kind of threshold of the people to touch it because of the, of COVID, that's for sure. But also the second reason was that people they saw the screen, because we also see a picture later on. They are very present in the store, so you can't somehow miss them. But people have a threshold to go to a screen and to touch it and to start something, a journey on that, right?
Really, that's correct, yeah.
Okay.
And
then yeah.
And after this, we tried a little game on this screen. It was okay, as it was not a Brame game. It was from another company, but the performance wasn't so good, and we had it was not the best way to promote the screens for our customers. And then at the right time, Brame has contacting us to show us their portfolio, and so we tried a test with Brame. And so we implemented together a spin the wheel game on the screens for 4 weeks and engaged them to reward the visitors. And the usage of the screen increased massively, and the feedback was really great. Also, it was the performance of the game was great, and also the style layout, and all were very happy.
Cool, that's great to hear. Yeah, we also have, of course, for our audience, a look and feel of that. We can also start the game here. So let me just click on it. Hopefully you see it now, that it spins. So I think everybody knows a spin the wheel, what it means. It's very easy to use. It's very quick. You can also generate leads with it, and you can also, engage with your customers. We see the numbers on the right-hand side. So can you tell our audience a little bit more about this game? How did you promote it, for example? And what do you think about the results and also the numbers here?
Yeah, we promoted this game to cross-media promotion. We promoted this via newsletter, via Instagram, Facebook, content or stories, and also with little flyers in our shops, and the active communication of our shop employees.
Cool. And what was that would surprise me a little bit. What was the response from the store visitors when you I think you monitored that very intensively? How do the people react when they saw the spin the wheel, when they played it?
Also, our customers and the employees like the game and in the shop, and they also like the visuals and the design. And it was for both parts, it was something new in our shops, and a good thing.
Okay. Yeah, we see also on the right-hand side, if you look at the numbers, that the conversion rate is usually higher when it comes to interactive integration of a game. Also, when you look at the bounce rate, if you have started a game, you are so thrilled about the result that you won't finish it, because you also decided to give a win to everybody, right? So everybody was a winner.
Everybody was a winner, yeah.
Okay, and that was also, of course, one of the reasons. So you can really redeem the price directly in the store at the cashier desk. Usually we also find out that you have a higher footfall in the store, which means that people who are playing have a positive feeling after that, and they are also intended to buy then more. but these numbers we have to investigate, of course, a little bit more together with Word. But coming to the next question, I mean, so this all the numbers and the finding convinced you to roll out the project and expand it to all the stores. Is that right? So you as a result of this test?
Yes. Also, it was also a result of this test. We rolled out our displays, so we rolled out 70 displays to all our 70 shops, and now every shop has its own digital display, and they all are happy with the displays because they have many use cases.
That's pretty cool. And we also come to this. So you decided, as the second game, you decided to use a slot machine. I think also everybody in the crowd knows what a slot machine is. It's also, we call it a lead generating game. So it's very easy to generate leads very quickly. And question to you, Marcus. Can you remember the first day of the promotion? What was the feeling of hitting, I would say, the start button and launching the slot machine in all these stores? What was the feeling in the stores and with you? What made it with you?
Yeah, our idea was to bring a little bit the casino flair in our shops, and I think we all have done a good job. The customers like it. The slot machine is running right now. Is running till the 5th of July, and at the moment we are happy with the results. It's working well and looks good. And
That's good.
Our customers like the slot machine.
That's good. That's really nice to hear. Yeah, we also had the pleasure to launch the slot machine with you as one of our first clients. So we have some more games, of course, but the slot machine is a new project from Brame. And yeah, it was also a great start from our end, and happy to hear that you really like that. Yes. Here also you see how the game looks like when you click on the button. So it's a quite easy game. You can also redeem the price directly in the store. It's an interactive game, a very quick game. It's just a snippet, but I think you know what it means. You also have to give your lead so that you can collect the price. That's also reason for that. And here we see, sorry, wrong slide. Here we see how you place the screens. Can you tell us a little bit more? What was the response here from the store visitors? How do they liked it? What they saw in the screens in general? And
yes, so our stores like the screens. Our placement of our screens are always in the near of the cashier and close to our monthly promotions. And so when there's no interaction on the screens, there are always the offers are visible and dividing. And when you go, you can touch the offers, or also the offers of the slot machine, and then you come directly to the game. Then you can play.
Pretty cool, yeah. So maybe to sum it up a little bit, so the intention for the implementation of the slot machine was to take a little bit away the fear of the people of the new technology, of the screens, of the usage, and to show them also the value of the screens. It's not only the game, of course, it's also what you mentioned before, all the other boxes that you can, for example, buy directly, also go into the online shop. You can go on social media and so on, which is a way to an omni-channel approach. And yeah, I think it can go on like this. We are very thrilled to have you as a client, and thank you also for mentioning the first two games. Now we can also see what it looks like, what it could look like in the future, and I also pass over to Nicola here again.
Yes. here we have it. Basically, what we are doing together with Word is really, on the one hand, we implement those games in the store on the screens to enhance the in-store experience and to bring in at the moment that casino feeling. But obviously, we also want to connect those different channels with each other. And one of the next steps where Marco's colleague Anna and also Georg have a role is basically the bringing in gamification into the e-commerce strategy. And what we see within e-commerce is that gamification can have a really great impact on crucial moments on that customer journey. So, for example, you all know, especially I guess in B2B, Marcus, it's often typical that people buy on desktop. Obviously, mobile is also rising. That's why you have brought in place also an app. But one example where we see huge success with clients is, for example, on the left side, a mouse cursor which goes to the X to leave the page, but before I leave the page and maybe compare the offer with a competitor, a pop-up comes into my eyes, which incentivizes me with a fun game to win something. So you have a certain tension effect. In the worst case, you want to try it out and give your lead. In the best way, in the best case, I directly get a voucher and redeem it in the online shop to have another way of kind of increasing the revenue. That was definitely one case which we want to focus together with Anna from the e-commerce team. Then we have also the app, which is in place. Maybe here, Marcus, a quick question. I know you're not the main responsible person for the app, but what is the purpose or the goal behind the app within this whole omni-channel strategy?
Yeah, the app is especially if you are on construction site and some of the material is missing, and so you can quick order your products via the app, and in the best case, in the next day you have this on the construction side, or if you want, you can buy it via the app with click and collect, and to pick it up at the next workshop. In Austria, they are most 30 minutes away from everybody, so you can pick that up and go back to the construction site and go on building.
Really nice. So app downloads, I guess, is a goal of you guys, and what we see with many clients where we could also deliver a concept with you guys is how to kind of bring more people from the in-store or from the e-commerce side into the app itself, because in the app you have a lot of possibilities in terms of push notifications and general targeting. And what we see here as a successful use case is often you can play out the game like a slot machine, for example, out of the app in the web, and then you incentivize people with a win, with a welcome bonus, with a discount to download the app and directly redeem it in this environment. So this is another way of how some clients of us reduce the inhibition threshold, or also how they push their loyalty programs, for example. So that's another concept which we are discussing right now with Word e-commerce. And the last topic which we have here is also how do we bring people that have purchased once something back for another purchase in that whole loyalty scheme. So one successful case here was basically that when I purchase something and I click and pay, nobody really likes to give money without having directly the product in their hands. And that's sometimes a bit the difference between in-stores and e-commerce. But what we often say is, hey, why you don't reward the people who have just purchased something with a positive feeling, with the attention effect, and maybe with a direct voucher which can be redeemed, because this really kind of, on the one hand, reduces the waiting time in e-commerce, and also gives people a positive experience after the purchase. So I don't know how you see this, Marcus, as an in-store manager. Do you see potential for those kind of use cases in the future?
Yes, for sure.
Great.
There is a potential.
Great. So looking forward to those cases. before we go to the question part, and I kindly advise you here again, ask your questions if there are some. Mike, maybe you can quickly explain how Word or how our tool looks like, and then Marcus, also you can tell a bit more about what did you appreciate while creating those games within the Brame software.
Sure, thank you, Nicola. Yeah, I mean, it's really easy. So our software is built in a very structured and easy way, as you see. So you choose a game. We have currently we have 14 different game types available, but with many variations. And depending on your marketing KPI, you choose a game along your customer journey, and then you choose a template. So you can choose various templates. We have up to 30 to 40 templates. In the new builder, we have much more than 60, 70 templates available for every purpose. And then you publish the game without any coding experience, with no IT knowledge is required. You publish the game, you create the game on your own, and then you can embed it as a link as an iframe in your app wherever you want. And then in the end, you also have you can choose a time period where the game should be live, and then you can really measure and optimize the game with our Brame dashboard. So you see all the game related figures in a quick view, and you can also copy that and paste that to your presentations internally. We also have an explanatory video here, and whoever is interested in a presentation, let us know in the chat, and then we will send that over to you. How was it for you, Marcus, the implementation experience?
Yeah, the implementation experience, it was very easy for us. We have given Brame a basic briefing and a basic layout, and also the pictures of our prices for the spin the wheel or the slot machine. And with the experience, they improved our idea to a better layout. So they have got the template, and they bring it on a next and better looking level, and that was the result. It was really easy. We also at the beginning we had some challenges for the size of our displays. This was also easy to the responsive design of these games, and the support was great. Also for other topics, at the beginning we had some small problems with our Chrome version on our displays and availability at Brame, and so we got the right information to improve that, and so the game was running well.
I've maybe a quick question, Marcus, on the whole scalability part, which you said, kind of a big group or a big global group like Word. What do you think is the advantage when it comes to international clients with separate country units? Do you see an advantage within a system like Brame?
Yeah, there's for sure an advantage because now these two games are ready, and they can also be to use from other countries with a little bit modification or no modification if they want, and so it's very good to scale.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you so much. So let's move on to the last slide to the last two slides before we go into the open questions. Just that you also see Brame is constantly evolving and developing this technology with new games, features, and so on. I mean, at the moment we have 15 plus games, which are more or less structured into knowledge games, where You can especially do the things like Marcus said to explain complex products. You can use those high converter games like the spin the wheel or the slot machine for a easy, engaging experience to win something. Or you also can use skill games. You have seen, for example, before an example of a drop game where you have to catch something and where you can collect points and compete with your colleagues. So that's kind of the framework of the games. And obviously, when it comes again to omni-channel experience, what we see is really also there are a lot of features that basically our clients request, and in the end we develop it because as our sweet spot is in retail, consumer goods, and e-commerce, we really want to develop the best features in that place. And one example is a unique access code. So for example, I go into the workshop, I scan a product, and then I'm able to play the game just once. If I want to play it again and can collect more or want to collect more points, I have to go again to the store and purchase something. So that's probably more for the store side. I don't know, Marcus, how realistic would this be to implement something like this in the future?
Yeah, the VR integration is I think in the wider future, but dual screen and the unique access codes can be something in the next months or years.
Great.
That is really realistic to implement it.
Cool. So dual screen is really, I mean, in your stores you have now touch screens. Probably there it's completely fine to kind of go directly, but obviously there are also features which could come in the future that you handle those screens by phone, that there is an integration within a mobile and a screen. Or what we thought as well, as we have talked to some more people within your organization, there are also ways of how to implement gamification into new possibilities or new ways, like VR, for example. I would say also for the sales force, to kind of give an outstanding customer experience to the clients when there is a personal interaction. There could also be potential to use it with that direct person-to-person contact. Great. So to finish up, we just want to highlight again the importance of omni-channel marketing and how gamification can help in here. So just we have a few slides here. We send to all the, or a few stats to all the audience. We send obviously afterwards as well the sources, but just again to highlight, nowadays, if you use 3 or more channels and if you combine that with each other, we see an increase of almost 300% in purchase rate. So omni-channel can really have an impact on revenue. Then as well, what we see, especially within in-store, it helps to gather the first party data to build a seamless experience, because what we often see in retail is that, you know, in the offline experience, often the purchase behavior and the data of the people are missing. And by the end of the day, as well, those digital displays, I think Marcus, you have seen it, especially when you bring in something interactive, something fun. This can have more views and more usage. We just see in general in a study from Intel that digital displays can capture up to 400% more views than traditional billboards. So leveraging those with gamification and maybe also including partners for general retailers could be a cool way to bring in innovation in the future. So that's kind of the summary why gamification and omnichannel marketing. And I would like to finish up this round here with the remaining questions. If there are some, you have still time to place them within the chat. But first, we had a question. I think, Marcus, this goes more for you. How did you guys visually solve this mix between signage and game? In other words, how to play content on the screen without losing the link to the game so customers see that they can interact. Marcus, can you tell a bit more about that implementation part?
Yes, thanks, Jens, for the question. I think, Nicola, it's the best you present the last slide. As you can see our display.
You mean this one?
Yes,
moment,
with the images of the
there's-
screens.
Yeah, the images of the screens.
I can share it. 1 second. Here we go. You tell me when you see it. Yes.
At the moment I can.
Yes.
Now. Maybe it's better you take the last slide with the question, because
yeah.
you can see the
Okay.
display at a bigger size. Yeah. Okay. For the question of Jens, as you can see on our displays, we divided our screen in different areas, so it looks like a smartphone. So at the bottom we have a navigation line. So the navigation line of this display to navigate in the different areas is always here. And above of them, there's the content area. So the game is always opening in this area above the navigation line. So you can play the game here, and you can also go in the other areas. I hope that was the answer of your question.
Thank you so much for this. As well, another question came out. Do all your prize competitions have only winners? I think in your case, Marcus, it had. You gave everybody out a win. Why did you do this, or what was the purpose behind it?
Yeah, the purpose was the main target of this game was to increase the footfall and the interaction with our displays, to remove the shyness of the people to go to the displays and come here to touch. And so it was much easier for our shop employees to promote the displays. So they can talk to every people to come in. Hey, look, like there's the new display. There's a game you can win, and everybody's a winner. So it was really easy to put the people to the display. And so our decision was everybody should win.
Makes sense. I mean, also to add on here, what we see within gamification is really that mix between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation kind of brings that value. So, that extrinsic motivation of giving people a prize kind of brings more curiosity, kind of teasers them to participate, to give their lead, or to maybe get a voucher. But yeah, by the end of the day, I think what we also have many clients that don't necessarily work with prizes or just with one main prize, because there more the intrinsic factors are very important. Like, you get challenged, you have that social connectedness to compete with your colleagues, to share your results on social. That also this way of kind of finding the own way in that self-determination part. A video, for example, is very linear, while a game can be more interactive. So all those things kind of trigger certain hormones in our brain, I would say, and therefore also knowledge transmission or other goals can be achieved without prizes. But obviously you have more awareness and visibility if you add some prizes, and if you want to drive more revenue, then it can obviously get as well interesting with giving out instant wins. I hope this answers the second question. And Alexandra Spooner also asked a third one. Any hints how to realize a higher conversion rate for newsletter subscriptions? Maybe Marcus, do you have already some experience to share here?
Yeah, there's for sure the possibility to tick the box from the newsletter before, but maybe you can have more newsletter subscription, but in my opinion, it's better the user ticket itself, because then was his own interaction, and maybe that will be the more qualitative lead, and it's my opinion. But you can try it to tick it before, and if it doesn't want the newsletter, you have to tick it off. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, as well, we're fully focused in the EU market at the moment. GDPR and this double opt-in is also very important.
Yeah,
so
maybe oh, sorry.
No, go on, Marcus.
Yeah, maybe there's also difference between P2B and P2C. For us in P2B business, the quality of the leads high responsible as for us.
Great. Yeah, overall, I would also say kind of giving a good price, a good main price to kind of trigger people that you have a click-through rate or a visit in your store, and then giving them a cool game, or maybe even what we also see with the more advanced games, not the short games like spin the wheel or slot machine, but those advanced skill games or a quiz. There, what you can also try is before giving people a good experience within a game, and then they're maybe more inclined to tick the newsletter checkbox and get the double opt-in button, because yeah, there's just a different level of trust already, and that's how we also the experience from Brame so far, and I think also what Marcus saw. So thank you very much for this insights. I think there are no more questions, and we're already a bit over time. I'm really sorry about that, but I hope you still enjoyed the discussions and the insights from Wirt. Marcus, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here, and it's also a pleasure to work with you. So let's hope for many great innovative gamification campaigns in the future. Obviously on your way to kind of support you on your way to this omni-channel approach.
Yes, thank you too, Mike and Nicola.
Thank you, and maybe also to mention, as Marcus said before, to all our friends in Austria, visit the Wirt store and make your own experience on the slot machine till July the 5th. So the game is still running. So, or get in the car, or in the train. We are green at Brame. So get in the train from Switzerland and visit one of the stores to make your own experience. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
There are some close to the border.
Exactly.
Great. Then have a good evening, everybody, and thank you for watching. We will share the recording and the presentation afterwards, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.